Things are about to get hairy.
Ocean water. Ocean water. Ocean water. Believe me. Ocean water. Ocean water. Ocean water. Believe me. Ocean water. Ocean water. Ocean water. Believe me. Ocean water. Ocean water. Ocean water. Believe me.
I just wanted some sauce on those zingers.
It's time for a celebration, Bird. Raise your hands up in the air because Tech25 ASMR is now fully partnered. So make sure you go subscribe to that channel. I just uploaded some new content there about the portable TurboGrafx 16, which is also known as the Turbo Express. It's like one of the rarest handhelds ever made, and it came out in 1990. It was so far ahead of its time. So make sure you go check out my ASMR channel, again called Tech25 ASMR. Link in the description and also the top pinned comment. And this Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I will be doing a Thanksgiving Eve marathon stream, and we're going to be doing everything from checking out what happened with DSP and Asmongold and playing some games. Oh, we're going to play games. We'll definitely play games. So make sure you check out my stream. It's scheduled already this Thanksgiving Eve. We're doing a marathon stream. Link below in the description for that as well, and top pin comment. So I believe 2 weeks ago to the day, Valve announced that there will be a Steam machine, which we kind of knew that it was coming. There were rumors, there were leaks for a while, but it was officially announced. And the concept seems impressive. Now, the Steam machine has some pretty modest specs. We're going to see has a Zen 4 6-core 12-thread CPU. I don't see as many people being concerned about that as much as I don't know if I should say I think they should be, because a lot of games now either recommend or sometimes require an 8-core CPU. Maybe Valve and developers can tweak their games to work on the Steam machine if it's popular enough, if they'll waste their time doing it. Even if they're supposed to require 8 cores, I mean, for Christ's sake, they gotta Doom the Dark Ages to arguably be playable on the Steam Deck. So I guess if there's a will, there's a way, but will there be a will is, I think, what we're concerned with right now. But needless to say, you have the 6-core 12-thread CPU, Zen 4, RDNA 3 GPU with 28 compute units, which they're saying is the equivalent of a RX 7600 desktop GPU. So, okay, the system is going to have 16 gigs of DDR5 RAM and 8 gigs of GDDR6 RAM, which is a major issue with the Steam machine. At least a lot of people who are much smarter than me are concerned about that. Now, I have read some things and seen some videos that, again, SteamOS can do some magic with the if they need to optimize VRAM storage or how much VRAM is used with the game. But that may just be from what I'm hearing people talking out of their holes. So that'll remain to be seen. But again, all these optimizations, it's going to have to be worth Valve's time. But nonetheless, okay, you're going to be able to get it with 512 gigabytes of storage, complete waste of time. Don't even waste your time getting that. And storing games on a micro SD card should not be a thing, even in SteamOS. It's painfully slow. It has a micro SD card slot, but if you want to play old games on there, retro games, or if you want to do emulation on this thing, sure, use it for that. But current gen games, putting them on a micro SD card, unless we go up to like the Express SD card, micro SD Express card, or something faster, is just useless. It's a waste of time for current gen games. Just don't let Valve or anybody trick you that that's a valid solution to store games on in most cases. Okay, and it just goes into the other standard stuff there. So you're thinking, all right, Valve is going to do something just like with other console manufacturers and subsidize the price, right? Right? No, they're not going to. So that's why they're saying it's going to be in range with a PC at the same price. This comes from GamerRant.com. While past rumors about the Steam Machine painted a bleak picture of its pricing, a Valve software engineer confirmed that the upcoming Steam Machine may bear a steep price. In an interview with Skill Up on YouTube, Valve software engineer Pierre-Louis Gruffat stated that the Steam Machine will not be sold at a subsidized price, and that its price would compete with PCs that offer similar specifications. Gruffat said the Steam Machine's goal is for it to be a good deal at the level of performance once it reaches consumers. Given that the Steam Machine uses 16 gigabytes of DDR5 memory alongside 8 gigabytes of video memory from its AMD graphics processor, the price of the Steam Machine will likely be at the mercy of RAM and GPU prices. And the other thing that they don't mention too, now that you really think about this and the dust from the hype of the Steam Machine has settled down, it's still a better value to build your own machine at the same price point, because in the future you could upgrade it. If say you buy a GPU that's 1-to-1 with the capabilities of the GPU inside of the Steam Machine, you're better off building your own computer, because then in the future, if all your other parts are on point and you could still use the CPU, the amount of RAM you have, the motherboard, everything else is still perfectly fine. All you have to do is upgrade the GPU. Steam Machine, you can't do that. Can't just upgrade the GPU. You would have to replace the whole box if you want a more capable box. So then if you're saying that the Steam Machine right now is apples to apples with a normally built computer or gaming PC at the same price, that's going to start losing weight, and the Steam Machine is going to start losing value, because then you can't upgrade it. And if the hardware is no longer capable of playing games because it's so outdated, you're screwed. With that computer that you built, where the components are mostly modular, if you need to upgrade them, you can even upgrade the CPU down the line, more than likely, depending on what CPU you go with and what socket it is. But yes, most of the time you could upgrade that as well. So there are upgrade paths so you get more value, because you don't have to replace the whole box. The Steam Machine, you're going to have to get a whole new one if it's straight up can't play certain games. Well, anyway, Linus Sebastian from Linus Tech Tips was actually invited out to Valve headquarters to check out their new hardware, including the Steam Machine. And this is the vibe he got regarding price while he was out there. And it's not great.
But in the meantime, I want to talk about pricing for the Steam Machine. Actually, no. What I want you guys to do, chat, get out of here, bug, is let me know what you would pay for it. So basically, it's a 7600 CPU and a 7600 GPU. This is not a super powerful machine. Valve is upfront saying that they are going to be relying on FSR in order to achieve 4K. And even...
Yeah, and I said what he's about to say here. 4K with that range of GPU, because it has 28 compute units and based on RDNA 3, which we know is not great with ray tracing. That's another thing too. So that kind of hurts the future proofing of this box too, is that RDNA 3 is not known for handling ray tracing well. And a GPU in this class, no matter what wizardry Valve may cook up, or developers who make games cater to the Steam Machine and have like a Steam Machine settings may do, 4K in a lot of cases with this, at least at settings that make sense. Oh, I could play this game at 4K at the absolute lowest setting, so it looks like a upscaled N64 game. Like, sure, there's many GPUs that could play 4K games at that point, but having 4K games at acceptable frame rates and acceptable settings with acceptable textures is going to get tough for this box. And in many cases, it's just not going to be able to do it. But let's continue.
And then, man, like 8 gigs VRAM... anyone else would be taking a ton of flack for shipping a game console today with 8 gigs of VRAM.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of people talking pricing in here. I'm gonna read these. 600, 600, 600, 600, 600, 350, 800, maybe 600.
No way.
1,000, you're crazy.
That it would be... Here, I don't think it will be. I genuinely don't think that the Steam Machine will be. But I wouldn't say it's a 0% chance that it may be like $900. And Valve may not even be planning for that, but with like manufacturing costs for components right now, who the hell knows where we'll be? Who knows where we'll be? I don't think it'll go up that high. But even at $700, man, thinking about it more, I don't know what that noise was, but thinking about it more, I don't know, dude. I don't know. A PS5 Pro is way more capable. But let me just continue this here because I'm talking too much.
500 tops or DOA, 250 PS5, so like 500 to 600, 599, 699, 500.
Nope.
Okay. A lot of 500 to 600.
I don't think so.
I can't tell you what the price will be because I literally don't know. But when I
Watch
said,
this.
you know, I'm disappointed that it isn't going to follow a console pricing model where it's subsidized by the fact that, you know, the manufacturer is going to be taking 30% of every game sold on it over the lifespan of this thing, because I feel that would be a more meaningful product. And they kind of asked what I meant by, well, what do you mean by console price? And I said, well, $500.
Watch this.
Nobody said anything, but the energy of the room wasn't great.
It's going to be at least 800. Wishful thinking is 700, but I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be. I wanted to show something here real quick as to why this is a major problem for Valve. And oh my God, they're going to screw this up again. This is the second time they screwed up the Steam machines, and it totally shouldn't be something that gets screwed up. It just shouldn't be. It should be a whole, especially after all of the praise they got and the great reception and how successful the Steam Deck has been. They should have nailed this out of the park. And if maybe they should have waited because of how prices are going through the roof right now with RAM and everything else until the market changed. But nonetheless, okay, so let's say you could buy the PS5 Pro right now because of like Black Friday and the holiday season for $650. All right. The PS5 Pro features an AMD RDNA 3 base, so it's based on RDNA 3, just like the Steam Machine's GPU, with 60 compute units and 16.7 teraflops of power. So it's really apples and apples when you compare the GPU of the Steam Machine to the PS5 Pro. The Steam Machine uses a semi-custom, which I hear it's not really that custom. It's like other chips that AMD had and they were binned, and Valve was like, all right, do this and maybe give some more power to this part of the GPU, blah, 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 right? So the Steam Machine uses a semi-custom RDNA 3 GPU with 28 compute units and 8 gigabytes of GDDR6 RAM. So it's kneecapped with having a small amount of VRAM, and it has less than half the compute units of the PS5 Pro that you can now get for $650. And you can't say that the PS5, granted you can get games cheaper on Steam, but you can't complain about third-party support on the PS5. That's for damn sure. And the other thing is too, because of if you want to play games like Battlefield 6 and dare I say a Call of Duty, maybe not Black Ops 7, you could actually play those on the PlayStation 5. You can't play those in SteamOS due to the anti-cheat software games like that use. It's not just limited to those two games too. So add that in when it comes to price, performance, and value. And I went from being optimistic about the Steam Machine to pulling a Rich tomorrow, and now I have grave concerns for it. I will buy it because I'm a tech nerd and I'm curious. But will it be successful? I have serious doubts now. And you could say I'm a flip-flopper, but I have to just call it like I see it. This is Rich Tomorrow, signing out. Subscribe to this channel and my ASMR channel, and I will see you all in Wednesday's stream and in the next video. Have a good one.